After the Antarctica and the Arctic, the Sahara Desert in Africa is the world's largest desert. Its size is as large as China or the United States, and it is also the hottest desert in the world. Its temperatures are around 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Blowing from the northeast, winds are so strong that they even change the Sahara's landscape. Under these conditions, life is really hard. However, for the last 20 years, it has been observed that the edge of the Sahara Desert is shrinking. Gradually, green grass is growing. Bushes are becoming bigger, and seeds are becoming taller trees. So, what is happening? Why is this desert becoming smaller? Maybe the answer to this question is common and strange at the same time, like all love stories are. The northeast wind that blows so strong one day fell in love. It all started one day when the northeast wind wanted to rest after blowing very hard. For many days and many nights, the wind had been moving around a large amount of sand, creating new dunes, pushing clouds away. With no wind, a little cloud showed up. Some tiny drops fell from the cloud, and with this tiny rain, a little grass started to grow up. Among this grass, there was a fragile, tiny white flower. The wind had never seen a flower like that in the desert. It looked delicate, and the wind liked it. So the wind decided to conquer the flower, and the wind performed like the way it always did, and it strongly blew on the tiny flower. It was what the wind used to do with the dunes of the desert, and dunes liked it. But the tiny flower was different. The tiny flower wanted to be moved too, so at first it opened its petals up to the wind and allowed the strong wind to blow. But the wind blew harder and the flower closed tightly. However, the flower remained there because the flower understood that it was what the wind of the desert had learned to do. The tiny flower told the wind, "You are the strongest wind I ever met. Would you mind bringing some rocks to protect me from your strength?" The tiny flower told the wind, "You are the wildest wind I ever met. Would you mind bringing some clouds to water me with rain?" The flower told the wind, "You are the warmest wind I ever met. Would you mind breathing lighter between these rocks and these clouds so I can feel your breeze?" And the strong wind from the desert did those things for her. Among these rocks, the wind was blowing softer, and the rain began to stay longer and longer. The tiny white flower could enjoy every soft, warm breeze from the wind, and it is said that around the tiny white flower, a small oasis was formed, and more white tiny flowers were growing, because the tiny flower and the strong wind had adjusted and trusted each other. One of the driest deserts in the world began to decrease, and it is still decreasing a little bit more every day ever after.